it says? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
it's a good week for like a round number because you have some nice goals to share this week.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I put up a post, I don't know when, a couple days ago about how many inches I lost, and I mean that was actually through like almost a month ago when I took the measurements, the second measurements to compare, and I think it was a little over 10 inches. I don't know if that's good or bad because everybody talk about weight. So how many pounds you lost. So when I say how many inches I lost, I don't know if 10 inches across my body
I'm thinking
is good
10 inches across your body is excellent.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying
okay.
if I lost 10 inches off my waist right now, I'll be very happy.
Okay, but it's off your waist. It's not off your entire body. That's including my neck and my forearm.
Okay, well, 10
and that stuff
inches
too.
everywhere
my
would still
calves.
make me happy.
So I'm just saying, like, it's not like it's 10 off of there. So anyway, I'm just saying.
I think it's good for
it's
you.
hard to put that in perspective for me.
I think it's good for you too because everyone else notices you shrinking like just like this, but you don't notice.
Yeah, I don't.
So it's good that you see that you have all these inches down because it's showing you that you are getting smaller.
Yeah, I have to do those things. And we're down 70 pounds together.
Yes, sir.
So, that's something else too. I think is a big deal, especially because this year a lot of stuff was going on, with just physically, medically, and everything. A lot of stuff was going on. So down 70 pounds, I think that's pretty good for where we are. I mean, our goal is 250 pounds. I mean, some people may be watching who aren't following. So our goal is 250 pounds to lose as a couple. Mm-hmm. We don't have a time frame on it. We just want to lose 250 pounds. So we lost 70 so far. So we got 180 left. And
still big numbers.
Yeah, but when we lost like our first 20, I was just like, all right, we got 230. And you're like, oh, that sounds so depressing. Yeah. So you went from 250 to 230 to 200 to now 180.
Okay,
so,
I mean, I'm not denying that it's
coming down.
It's good, but it's just...
And pretty soon we're going to have more weight lost than what we need in front of us.
That's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really excited for you, For
me?
Mm-hmm. Because of your inches down and the weight loss so far.
Mm. Yeah, and I'm down 50 pounds so far.
So 50 of our 70 pounds is him. So that's really great.
Well, we round, so hers is more than 20. Just saying. So it's not like you're right at 20.
Okay, but still.
Especially today, you were, you definitely were you were more than 20 pounds gone. So anyway, that was like pretty cool. So were there any other numbers that we have to
share? No, those are the big numbers. No, that's it. We just wanted to share that. Okay,
so a question just came up is what are we doing to lose the weight? And I mean, we're trying to be active, but like a small thing. So walking is the biggest thing that we're doing. I started doing some other exercises.
He's so sore.
It's hard to walk.
Like you're sore.
But it's all stuff I know I can handle.
Yeah.
But I have to push myself more than just what the walking can do. One, because being 50 pounds lighter, my body isn't burning as many calories to do the walking. Mm-hmm. And two, my body is used to the walking now. So even if I was the same weight, but had doing this walking for the last 6 months, it's not going to have the same effect. So that's why I'm pushing myself to do more than that. But I still have to be careful with my back and my shins and other stuff.
But it has been primarily diet and exercise, and I think for us, it has been walking primarily to this point as far as the exercise. And with diet, I don't think that either of us have stuck to some named plan. Like we're not doing keto or paleo or anything like that, or Weight Watchers. We're not doing anything like that. I think we are, we're counting our calories, but I don't think we've been really restrictive otherwise. Like if we want some ice cream, we'll eat the ice cream, but we are looking at our macros and trying to make wise decisions. We are doing intermittent fasting, which we found in the past has worked for us, and it's something that we do naturally. Like neither of us were big breakfast eaters anyway, so that just works out well with how we naturally want to eat, and I think it has been beneficial. So I think those are the main things.
Yeah, I mean, just for me, I just noticed that, I haven't eaten anything yet today, and because we'll talk about the diabetes in a second, but we had the diabetes weigh-in, so I didn't drink a whole lot either. But I usually drink about a gallon of water a day at work, and I'm usually so busy. Like, I'm either walking or working, and that's it. Like, anytime I leave my desk, it's to either go for a walk or I'm taking the long way. Somebody was just like, "Oh, can you help me with a problem?" And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to the bathroom in a few minutes, so I'm going to walk around in the building to your area and then do it." So I made sure I got more like that, more steps in that way. So doing that stuff has been good for the exercise, but it's also good because I don't sit down and eat. I take my lunch break and I just go for a walk. So I don't even get hungry at work now. And so, like, I'm sitting here right now a little bit hungry. That's it. It's not like I'm, like, overwhelmed with hunger or something like that. So, I feel really, really good about that. And so when we say intermittent fasting, like, yeah, it's really easy for me because, growing up, I never ate breakfast. Like, I just don't do that, and I don't get hungry until the evening. Sometimes I don't get hungry at all in the day. And so that's a day that I don't have to eat, and there's reasons for that. I mean, I'm not just being flippant about not eating. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, the only other thing I'll add is, the difference between us is that physically I just cannot do very much right now. And I wish that wasn't a barrier, but it's just a reality for me. But I'm glad that I'm able to make the progress I am, regardless of that. Like, it's not stopping me. So yeah. I'm glad that I am still making progress and that's not hindering our goal.
Yeah. Paul says soreness is a badge of honor.
Yeah, right. As far as swimming goes, right now I can't even do that, unfortunately. That was something that, I've talked about with my doctors in the past and, was willing to try. But yeah, right now, even that is out, unfortunately. Speaking of which, the last couple videos I mentioned going to the doctors and getting these tests done. And, while I can't go into it, it's unfortunate, or won't go into it. My health is actually doing worse than I thought. So that's been really hard to kind of deal with this past week or two, really, but this past week especially. But it's just something else that we just, like you said, like, we're just gonna get through, like we have everything else.
Yeah, God's gonna bring us through this.
So physically, I cannot do much of anything really. So we're just gonna focus on I can just focus on being as healthy as possible with how I eat.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, same, Paul, about small steps, and that's exactly what it is for us, because, we just want to be healthier. Like, in everything we do, we want to be healthier, and, we realize that weight is just a part of it. So, if that means that it takes 2 years to get to a goal weight, but where we have healthy choices, where, giving our body nutrition, and we're getting stronger, getting more flexible, and things like that. Like, I look at it like, okay, we're doing well, and the weight is going to come off, and we're going to settle at a healthy weight if we start doing healthy things. So it's really just about saying we want to make sure that we, as much as what's in our control, we're making sure we can live, healthy and fruitful lives.
Exactly. It's been really good, I think, just even mentally thinking about that, just thinking through what, especially just with our values and thinking about stewardship, the idea of what is in our control, or what has been given to us to handle, and wanting to make sure that we are doing the best that we can with what's been given to us. Mm-hmm. And our bodies and our health is a part of that. And lately, I've been really thinking about that, wanting to make sure that I am optimizing the things that I can to the best of my ability. And this journey is such a big part of that.
Mm-hmm. So we may or may not have mentioned alternate day fasting, which is intermittent fasting, just a longer time period.
I don't think you really talked about it.
Okay. Yeah.
So since you brought it up.
So, I mean, with intermittent fast, all that just means, everyone does it. So, I just want to make it clear that when we put a label to it, it's something that just naturally happens. You sleep 6-8 hours a day, and you probably don't eat like in bed right before you sleep, and as soon as you wake up, eat. So, I mean, a lot of people go 10, 12 hours maybe between meals anyway, every night, from dinner to breakfast. So, we just extending that period a little bit longer. And, there's research to show that there's benefits, health-wise to doing that. As far as cell repair and even, keeping insulin levels stable and things like that. So, and actually, alternate day fasting, there was a study that came out fairly recently that showed that it can extend your life. And I don't remember what markers they used. I kind of skimmed through it, to be very honest with you. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't following a fad. And make sure there was at least some research behind why I'm doing it. And again, it's something that fits. So anyway, last week I just wanted to test it out. It's hard because of the things that I do. And we have a pressure cooker that sounds like it's about to explode.
Yeah, sorry. That's my Instant Pot.
But it's hard with everything. I mean, I have a meeting on Wednesday that I go to every night, and it's a dinner meeting. And so just things like that, it makes it kind of hard. So I said, okay, Thursday I was going to fast for Thursday. And then Friday was so busy, there was no way I could fit in anything, any type of meal. So I said, you know what, if I feel okay physically Friday, then I'll just continue to fast into Saturday. And that's what I did. So I went, I forgot whatever it was, about 65 hours, I think, without eating. And I felt fine, to the very end, but I also did a very intense workout and then went for a 2-mile walk, and before I ate. So, overall, I felt really good doing it. It definitely was good mentally for me to do, just to show that, really show my body I'm in charge. The funniest thing is we had a meeting at work on Thursday, and I go in there and they're free pizza.
His favorite food.
So I'm sitting there, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to have pizza. I'm not going to have it. It's okay. Then a friend of mine that I work in the same building with came by and said, hey, come go with me to this restaurant. And it's a Mexican food restaurant. It wasn't Moe's. It was Cordova's. So she's like, yeah, come there.
Second favorite
and that's
food.
Yeah, and that's another. Those two are probably tied. So I go there, and I'm sitting there, and the guy's like, you want anything? No, just with her. That's it. And I didn't tell her that I was fasting or anything. And then I get back to the job, and then as people are leaving, they're like, oh, Khaleef, there's leftover pizza that's still there, and, it's going to sit out overnight, so, eat it or take it home or whatever. And I'm just like, man, I sure could go for some pizza right about now. But I didn't do that. And so, I mean, everything was fine overall. But it was just funny that, all those things start happening. It's kind of like the old thing where it's people are trying to date for years and can't find anybody. And as soon as you get in a relationship, that's when everybody want to show up and they think you're cute. So that's what was happening to me Thursday. Friday was a little bit better. And then Saturday, I ate food that was here. So yeah, it felt really good to do that and to know that I could have control over my body and my mind, really, psychologically, that I can say, okay, there's something good in front of me. And I realized, too, it helps me even know what my hunger, how much of it is really mental and how much is physical.
It's real hunger as opposed to other things.
Yeah, just being, just mentally saying, I want this food right now because I have a positive reaction when I eat this food. My brain likes it when I eat this food. My taste buds love this food, versus my body saying, hey, I need nourishment. And, the signals that God has built into our body to say, you need to nourish your body are going off. Right. And it doesn't happen too often because we don't give it a chance to. I mean, most of us who are watching this are in countries where, we can eat anything we want. We can either order it, we can go buy it, or we can have it in our house and store it for a long period of time and cook it when we want. Mm. So, we can do all of that stuff, and there are people who don't have that ability. And so for them, there isn't a discipline. For us, it's just, hey, whatever I want, I can get it, when I can. I mean, it's the same thing with finances, right? When you have a credit card, you have access to anything you want anytime. Right. It used to be that certain things were separated for rich people. Mm-hmm. Certain experiences, certain fabrics, certain designs,
and just certain
cars.
brands. Yeah.
Right. It was made just for the wealthy.
Right.
But once we can get credit, you can move into any neighborhood. You can buy any car. You can, buy any clothing that you want. You can do anything.
Any liquor. Right. There was expensive liquor, cheap liquor.
And now you can
anything.
So it's like, it used to be a separation based on income, but credit, separates that. So it's the same thing with us with having access to food with, our refrigerators and, freezers and Uber Eats and everything else and getting groceries delivered to us and all this stuff.
Right.
So we don't experience real hunger too often. And that's what I realized. Hey, Marlene, I realized I don't experience hunger much because I can eat anytime I want. And usually my mind is saying, feed me or give me that satisfaction that comes from putting food in your face more than my body is saying, I need nutrients. So I think I just kind of learned that about myself, that, I really need to have self-control. So fasting for those couple of days really helped me to see that, because it was little moments where my body felt like, it was hungry. And I was drinking a lot. I drank probably 1.5 gallons of water each of those days. Mm-hmm. But, once I did that, most of the time it was over. And I felt fine afterwards. I didn't take my vitamins because I usually take them with food. I didn't drink the powder supplements that I drink. I didn't have any calories at all for the 65 hours. And I was fine. I wasn't weak. I wasn't lightheaded. I wasn't slow, lethargic. I wasn't not able to think well. None of those things that happen when you get physically hungry. And I was perfectly fine for those days. So definitely I'm going to incorporate that. I know you said you were looking into that too, right?
Yeah, I fasted for 1 day this week. Probably 1.5 days. I don't know how many hours it is right now. I'm just tired. But somewhere around there. And the same thing, I was fine. It was good. I broke my fast with some chicken broth and then turned it into some soup, added some vegetables to it, and then ended up adding some meat too. I felt fine and it was good. And I also wasn't very hungry when I did it. I thought it was good.
Yeah. So definitely want to keep that. I was just thinking in general, probably I may do something like Tuesday and Thursday are days that I fast. And I may try to make it 36 hours. So, we'll see if I'm able to do that.
Yeah. Except that Tuesdays are taco night. Taco
Tuesday. We still doing that?
Yeah.
Not doing Monday?
Well, I thought we were going to do both.
No, Monday is easier for me to fast because we do the video and then I got to edit the video and do all that stuff.
Well, there you go. So maybe Monday, we should fast on Monday.
Monday is just a more crowded day, even for me.
So maybe.
And Tuesday is wide open, so it might be easier to do that.
Yeah, so maybe we should try that.
Okay. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I'm open. This isn't I'm following someone's diet plan. I'm really just saying, where's my life going? I read some stuff about, fasting for a couple of days. And there's always been evidence about fasting, and people always point to the benefits of fasting.
There are always benefits.
And even when you look at, people trying to take out the Bible and the Daniel fast, and hopefully I'm not offending someone by doing my quotes, but, looking at some of the things that happened with him looking healthier and bigger and stronger, looking after 21 days of refraining from certain foods. So, you see how our bodies react, and these things are none of these things are set in stone. For everyone, it's not like you have to do this or
right.
Have it.
Yeah, I think that's the good thing though about what we're doing is we're down 70 pounds, and we're not saying that there's this hard and fast rule to how you have to do this. We're not saying this is the way to lose weight, Yeah. And
so you're not drinking butter? Hot butter?
I'm not drinking bullet coffee. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not making fat bombs and I'm not talking down about that either, if you're doing any of these things.
Man, but putting butter in your coffee,
some people say they like it.
Yeah, of course they do after a while.
Anyways, but my point is that, I'm not saying there's any way to do it. Any one way to do this,
Right.
But it is really important for us, and I know for me, just the way I feel, I'm more into listening to my body at this point, and especially with my health, really just trying to do things that make me feel well and strong. Yeah. And not going crazy. Another thing that's really important to me, first of all, like Khaleef knows, like when I'm off this camera, I don't like talking about weight loss. Like that's not for me like real life in the world. You know what I mean? Like I don't want this to take over my life. Like this is a very small part of who Sherrian is, and so I don't want to be talking about this, thinking about this, like focusing on the 24/7. You know, this is just one of the facets of where I am right now, what I have to do. So, so that's another reason why it's very freestyle for us, you know, because for me, like, it's not going to be some regimented thing that I'm going crazy over, you know?
I can't. Yeah, I can't. I have kind of a disdain for the gurus that tell you this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't. I have a lot of discussions about it because sometimes people will bring things up and it's like, no, it's not. That's not true though. Like that's really not how the body works. I mean, that's just something that some guru that wrote an article about it or on their blog or some some website that somebody put together.
This is the way to lose weight. Yeah, this is the one thing you have to do. Way.
Did you watch this documentary on Netflix? Man,
oh my God!
If y'all don't turn off Netflix, we gonna have problems.
Was it What the Hell? I'm like,
it's everything.
Didn't they make Fork Over Knives like 10 years ago and it was the same exact thing?
It's everything, yes. And it's just...
But anyway,
stop. I mean...
I ain't hating on y'all. Especially if you're vegetarian or vegan.
Some people need...
But...
I mean, I need to know what I'm doing. But if you understand, and I mean, like all of us, we understand how the human body works in general... Just enough, just a basic understanding, and then we understand how our body works by experience. Like, it's not all just saying science says this. Okay, but every time I do it, I have a different result. Doesn't matter because the study said this. No, of course, you listen to what your body is doing and saying, and if you don't have celiac disease, but you still feel sluggish when you eat gluten, then don't eat gluten. I know people are going to say, hey, you can eat gluten if you don't have it, but you know what? Just don't.
If it makes you feel bad, don't.
Right, just don't do it. What's the big deal?
And then the other thing is, it's not for everybody. So don't tell everyone not to eat gluten.
That's my only thing. Right, that's my only thing with all this stuff.
That's
is just don't tell me that whatever program you're following is the way to better health. Like, it's really not, because every single program has the same thing in common that's successful. First, there's been studies that show that every single weight loss plan works when you actually stick to it. Every weight loss plan works for weight loss. So the only thing is you sticking to it, and as long as it puts you in a caloric deficit. And everything does, because everything is about putting away certain types of food.
Right.
You know, whether it's food that comes from an animal or food that was somewhat processed, or if it has words that you can't pronounce and you just avoid those. Whatever your rule is, it tells you avoid all of these sources of calories, and that's how you lose weight. And weight loss isn't our only goal with this. Like we said earlier, it's about our overall health. So we just are trying to get healthy.
Yeah. So let me just say this: if you see me and I don't want to talk about my videos or weight loss, don't get offended. Just understand, like, this is not my life. So when I'm off here, I want to live my life, not talk about this. Yeah. First of all, but secondly,
oh, and Marlene, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Marlene. She said we look great. Thank you. But yeah, it's like, do what works for you. Like, my thing is, I'm not knocking anyone's game. No. Like, if something's working for you, go ahead. Yeah. But just don't try to get me to join your militant belief system either. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And don't come at me with nonsense. That's the other thing.
Why you always... See, I'm always trying to be very diplomatic with things, and then you have to be real extra.
But I don't mind talking about my health with people, but I do mind when people just make up these ridiculous rules. Like, oh, you're trying to lose it, you gotta eat like 6 meals a day.
Yeah.
You gotta do... But I'm eating 1 and I'm okay. But you gotta have 6, and you gotta do this, and you can't have more than this much protein, and you can't. Why not? Why not? Tell me what happens in the human body when you violate what rule you just set up. You don't know? Okay, then stop. Don't talk to me. But because I need the information. I need to understand the big picture. So I want to know how this works and everything. and it's almost like you see that meme and it's just kind of whatever word is popular. It's just like say that one more time, and it's just like that, right? Like I want to go up to people and just say that, like say starvation mode one more time, and see what happens. Say insulin one more time,
Yeah, like Trim Healthy Mama. I mean,
what?
That's just something that a lot of people have done.
Oh, okay.
Those types of
I'm
things.
glad I never heard of it. Okay.
But once again, it's worked for a lot of people, and that's great. And do your thing. It's not for me. And don't try to proselytize me. Like I said, I don't knock anything anyone's doing, and I may try something myself and say, hey, I feel like doing this today.
Yeah.
See,
I'm not okay. So here's my. I will say this about keto, and I was saying this earlier. First, it's something. I mean, people would just put a label to it. Reducing the amount of carbs that you eat has been something that people have been doing for decades. When they want to have a quick burst of a weight loss, right. For different things. I mean, when I wanted to do my last diet bet, I didn't have carbs for like 3 days straight. Yeah. Because I knew that I was going to work really hard. I was going to sweat a lot. I was going to like reduce my water intake, and I had this whole plan that was about me going down, in taking things in. And I was going to deplete my, muscles of all of the glycogen and all of the water that gets stored with it. Right. And I was going to do that.
Go into ketosis.
But I didn't even care about that part.
Yeah.
I just wanted to lose that weight that was associated with the water in my muscles.
Right.
So but that was what happens all the time. It's what powerlifters do. It's what bodybuilders do. That's what we used to do to try to make weight when we wrestled in high school. Like, so it's not like it's this great new diet that someone just discovered. It's like, no, it's just how the human body works and how our energy storage works.
You know what's interesting? I think the interesting thing that I find, especially like intermittent fasting, because with that, everyone talks about it now, no matter what kind of diet you're doing, is that the things with these diets is that it's usually things that do start in the weightlifting and powerlifting communities where they care about the science of what your body is doing.
Yeah.
And then it filters down to every other kind of person, and then they act like they invented it.
Right. And
it's
then
really interesting.
Then there's some guru that comes with like flowers in the background when they do a video, and they're just like, I came up with this thing, and you should be doing it. And they throw these weird words around, and they say insulin. They have no clue what insulin means. And I just remember one time the glycemic index was the biggest thing, and you wanted to see what the glycemic index was for every type of food, even though that's the food on its own, and you rarely eat one piece of whatever by itself. You usually eat it in conjunction with other things, and the glycemic index gets reduced if you eat it with like a protein. There's like all these things around it, and it's like it's helpful for somebody who is a type 2 diabetic. It's helpful for certain people, but then people just took that and get me mad.
Yeah, so you're getting real
Say
excited.
say insulin one more again.
Oh my!
No, but you see what I'm saying? It's just like these things have some truth in it, and they all work. And so like I wouldn't have a problem with it. I mean, it's like we have good friends that are doing keto or at least a form of it, and they're seeing success with it. So it's like. And if you could do it and you could sustain it, do it and just kill it. And I'm happy because that's something that they found that can work for them. Yeah. And none of them are like, hey, you have to do this. There's a reason why you're fat is because you had a banana today. Like none of them are saying that and freaking out like that. So I appreciate that too, because nobody is like how when CrossFit started. And everybody was like, Carl, you have to do CrossFit. And it was like a cult. And everybody was saying paleo, and they didn't even know what it meant. Yeah. It's like they never heard that term before, but they're like, you gotta eat paleo. And, caveman diet. What? But they're all dead. Like, why do I want to mimic what they did, and they're not here? So, okay, anyway. But you get what we're saying, right? Like, cut your calories and stuff works. If you find something that works for you, a system, great, go with it.
If you love it,
but don't tell everybody that they're not losing because of that thing. Yeah,
my thing is find something that you can stick with.
Yes.
Find something that you can really stick with through your life, that you really, are able to sustain. That's the reality of it to me.
Except the long-term juice diet. Anything else, yes, do it. But don't. What was that dude's name? I don't know, Joe Pass.
I don't remember his.
But Joe Pass is a guitarist.
Yeah, so that's the jazz.
Yeah, jazz guitarist. But it was named something like that. I don't know. Frank Joe? Something. Joe Frank?
I don't know.
Alright, I don't know.
Why are you looking at me?
You supposed to know this dude named Joe Cross?
That sounds more like it, but I still don't know.
Okay, I don't know.
hold me to it.
Yeah, whatever. But he made something about green or Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
Yeah, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead.
Yes.
Another good documentary that we saw on Netflix.
Right.
Everybody was juicing after they saw it.
Yeah, right? And yeah, so that, I mean, that's one thing I'm going to say, just don't do it. Don't do it. Anything else, if it worked for you, do it. Just don't do a long-term juice fast. All right. So I think I'm done.
You done? Y'all off your high horse now? No, I'm kidding.
See?
All right, guys. Anything else you wanted to share?
Nope.
No, that's it. All right.
Oh, thank you. Somebody said we're doing an amazing job.
Hey, thank you.
See? Thank you. Really appreciate it.
I guess the only other thing I have going on is I am on a new med that does make a lot of people gain weight, so I'm hoping it does not. Or for whatever reason people gain weight, whether it affects my appetite or anything, I'm just hoping it doesn't do that to me.
The diet bet.
Diet bets!
So
important.
We don't have the results yet of the diet bet.
No, we do not.
Because we just did our weigh-in like right before we came on here.
But we both weighed in.
Yeah, under what we were supposed to. So if the pictures were good enough quality, then hopefully they will accept it and then we'll win some money.
You keep talking so I can look and see what they said. I think mine was. I think mine was accepted though. But let me see.
I think we said like you are not going to do more diet bets in the short term, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to do diet. If I win these, I'm just going to roll some of the money over into trying to do more diet bets. Yeah, he's going to continue his diet bets. I need to keep doing this to keep short-term goals like
I think they're great, but just, with my uncertain near future, it doesn't make sense for me to take on any diet bets because I don't know what's going to be happening in the next few months.
And yes, with pictures, so I was saying earlier about how the measurements were one thing that I need to look at because I don't see it when I look in the mirror. I don't see like, oh, I'm losing weight. So to look, I mean, the scale is telling me I'm losing weight. My clothes are telling me I'm losing weight. And now actually friends are telling me, but I don't see it. So yeah, before and after pictures, I hope we have before pictures.
We do have some. Yeah, it's not that we don't have any. It's just that we're not showing them.
Yeah, because my what would it be? My current.
Hey, thanks again. Have a good night.
All right, good night. My current pictures, my progress pictures, are still really embarrassing. And they will probably be most people's before shots. So I'm still like before and before. That's where I'm at right now. So
yeah,
that's why I haven't posted any. But I mean, I may post some if I can find some. I actually have been trying to take more. Anytime I'm around any friends, I try to take pictures with them,
right?
So that I can compare. So I'm, just going to try to keep that up, and then maybe post a couple that way.
Yeah, I think once I don't care about the before, I won't mind as much.
Yeah, yeah. The further away you are from the before in the time period, you're shaking the thing.
Sorry.
The further away you are from it, it's like easier to post. If it's like my before shot was 2 months ago, it's like. You still kind of look like that, I'm sure.
Let's not.
Yeah, so, I'm just, like, I hate the way that I look, so, pictures are a little hard for me. But, since you said that, and I know you got some photography skills, you can take some shots of us.
Some after shots.
Yeah, right? It could take, some different things. Only if I'm holding your baby in it, though. Make that happen. Make that happen.
You want her to make her baby like you?
She has to like me. I love her, so she needs to show me some love back.
Wow. Okay.
She cried at me yesterday.
I think we're done.
Okay. I think we're done, too.
Wow. All right, guys. Well, have a good night and week.
Yep, and hopefully we'll still be posting a lot during this week. And check out our stories since we post more, and she posts on Facebook. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.